Okay, this video is to help you with the two-step equation tile lesson. Okay, if you look at slide 1 and you click on the link, I just want to show you something. I want you to think of these equations, these two-step equations, as balanced scales. Okay, you're going to see x's and numbers in your equations. So if you're thinking about this balanced scale here, okay, we're thinking of this as 3 bags that have cubes inside it. And all 5 of these bags that have cubes inside of it have the same amount of cubes. Okay, we want to figure out how many cubes are in each bag. Okay, we want to know what x is, because that's what x is, the number of cubes inside each bag. Okay, and we want to picture this on a balanced scale. Okay, so I'm going to call these x's. So over here on my post-it, think of this as 3 x's plus 1. Okay, these are just regular numbers, the cubes. Balances with 2 x's plus 7. Okay, so you're going to see on your paper or on your slide something that looks like this. 3x plus 1 equals 2x plus 7. Okay, but what I want you to get from this link is just realizing if you have a balanced scale, I can take away the same thing from both sides to keep the scale balanced. Okay, so like I could take away a cube from the left and a cube from the right, and this stays balanced. Okay, I can take away the same thing from both sides of a balanced scale to keep it balanced. Okay, I could add some x's. I could add some bags to each side. So on the left, I could add 3 more x's to the left. Just clicking the plus sign. As long as I add more, well, I guess I just had 1 added. So I could have added 1 x to the left and 1 x to the right, and it stays balanced. Okay? So the big idea there, guys, if you take away something from one side of a scale, a balanced scale, you got to take it away from the other. Okay, if you add something to one side of a balanced scale, you got to add the same thing to the other side. Okay, let's get back to the slide 1. So what these tiles are doing, they're letting you think about what you're doing in words as you solve the equation, what you're doing using algebra, and they're giving you the tiles. It's kind of like you're looking at all 3 things at the same time. I know this is overwhelming at first. So if I'm looking at the problem 3x plus 1 equals 7. Okay, here's my picture. 3 x's. See, I can't do the bags anymore. Okay, so we're using the unknowns to be rectangles. Okay, here's my 3 x's, my unknowns, plus 1 more, just a regular number, like the cube on the link from before, balances with 7. Okay, my goal is to figure out what 1x is, what one rectangle is. Okay, and all the x's have the same thing inside of it. Okay, all the x's are equal. Okay, bear with me. Okay, you're going to look at the steps here. It says, here's the equation. I'm going to type in the equation. 3x plus 1 is equal to 7. Okay, and then the next thing it says, I'll subtract something from both sides. Okay, just look at your picture. What can you take away from both sides? Okay, remember, if you take something away from one side, you got to take away from the other. Okay, there's only one thing that's on both sides of my balance. That's a yellow square, which represents 1. So I'm going to take away 1 yellow from both sides. I'm just clicking on them and clicking backspace. Okay, so I'm going to write this in. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, I'm going to show it using algebra. Take away 1, take away 1 from the left and the right. Okay, so I'm thinking about what I'm thinking in my head over here on the left column, And in the middle, I'm doing my algebra. Okay, the next thing you see, here's what I get. Okay, now look at your picture. What do you get? What do I have now? Okay, I'm left with 3 x's on the left. Remember, green rectangles are x's. Balances with 6. So I'm going to type that in. 3 x's equaling 6. Okay, next step, I'll split both sides up into blank groups. Okay, in class we are talking about trick-or-treat bags. It's kind of a silly way to think of it, but let's say these are 3 bags and there's 6 chocolates. And you want every trick-or-treater to get the same amount of chocolates. So I'm going to split these up. I'm going to separate out my X's. Think of those as bags. And I'm going to give 1 chocolate to you, 1 chocolate to you, 1 to you. I don't want any trick-or-treater to get more candy than the other. That would be unfair. So I'm splitting my candy up among 3 bags, 3 trick-or-treaters. And I'm going to type in what I just did. I split both sides into blank groups. See, I split both sides up into 3 groups because I had 3 trick-or-treaters there. So I divided each side into 3 groups. I'm going to type in my 3. I'm going to put in a 3 to show I'm dividing by 3 underneath a fraction bar. I'm going to put a 3 underneath my right fraction bar because remember division is really, you could think of division as putting it under a fraction bar because a fraction bar means division. Okay, we're almost done. So each x equals what? Okay, what does each x equal? What does each green rectangle equal? Okay, each x equals 2. So I'm going to type in x equals 2, and I would be typing in each x equals 2. Okay, I know this is real different for y'all. Okay, just do your best. I'm going to test my answer. I'm going to test it. See, this is my equation up here. 3 times x plus 1 gives me 7. I'm going to take my answer, which I got to be 2, and I'm going to put it in for x. So I left a little spot there for you to just type in a 2 in place of the x. I just need to make sure that the answer is right. And I'll be honest with you, don't get too wrapped up with this check part if you can just do it in your head. Okay, but I just want to go over what I left you room to do. Okay, I need to see if 3 times 2 plus 1 really gives me 7. Okay, look at the left side. Okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, PEMDAS, okay, however you used order of operation, learned it. You need to multiply the 3 times the 2 first before you add. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to go ahead and type in plus 1 and 7. So I need to know, does 6 plus 1 equal 7? I need to test it. Okay, then I can do one more step and figure out what 6 plus 1 is down here. 6 plus 1 is 7. And 7's already on the right. So I can ask myself, does 7 equal 7? Yes, it does. Therefore, my 2 was right. Okay, when you do this very last check step, if you can just do in your head, you can think to yourself, does 3 times 2 plus 1 really give me 7? Okay, and if you know that that's okay, then you can just skip the other 2 rows if that confuses you. Okay? Do the best you can on this, especially if you're not here, you're not in class to go through this, and this is kind of new. Please keep me posted, do the best you can, and we'll help you out when you come back to class.